Night mates from my life mates, thank you so much for stopping by. Today is a journal with me in my Hobonichi techo. I'm using the Hobonichi Cousin in the Avec style, and I am housing it in the A5 Huckleberry Creme from Chic Sparrow. So let's begin with this spread here. This is the weekly section in the front of the Hobonichi. I have been using some printables from Aina and just some stickers to keep it simple, and I've been just documenting every day. I try my best to remember to write down the new numbers or new cases of COVID every day. It will just be really interesting. I think it'll be so interesting to read about it a little bit later on, just to see how fast the numbers went up, and I think it'll just be interesting in general, just to see how what I was thinking, how I reacted to certain things in news, and so I encourage you to even write a sentence or two about how you're feeling about the day or how you're feeling about the events. I think it will be such an invaluable treasure to read about it later on. Sorry, I'm just like totally rambling, but anyways, I found this really interesting moon phase on some packaging for, it was an advertisement booklet, and we don't sign up for this. It was like it's a monthly children's like a educational exercise book kind of, or like an exercise for kids every month, but we don't sign up for it anymore. But it was part of the advertisement for that, so I just cut it out, and it was perfect because I think on that day there was the full moon on that day, and I remember looking up at the moon. We couldn't really go anywhere, but I was able to stand outside of our house on the driveway and just look at the moon. And remember, it was really, really big. Now I am just taking the watercolors and writing some headings as I usually do, and on this specific day there was 144 new cases. I think yesterday was 190 something. It's not past the 200 mark yet, but I know it's probably a lot more than that. Unfortunately, I find, or I'm reading, that the testing is not very easy to get here in Tokyo. I don't know if that's just the way it is, if there's a shortage of tests or whatnot, but I'm reading everywhere that people are having a difficult time trying to get tested. Anyways, I don't want to get too far into it. Now I am just trying to color in the door and the deck of cards. I am trying my best to participate in the Hobonichi challenge, and this month's theme is Alice in Wonderland. Connie from Peppercorn Arts, she's the one that created this month's challenge, so I will, there's no specific link or anything. If you just search the hashtag Hobonichi challenge, it will come up and you'll be able to follow along. And so I try my best to fill out empty spaces where I can with the Hobonichi challenge, and I don't remember what else I do. I end up opening this envelope. I don't know if you can see there, I'm kind of struggling with the zipper. I think I need to reinforce it a little bit with some double-sided tape. I don't stitch the pouch in the DIY tutorial. It's a no-sew tutorial, so you don't have to worry about taking out your sewing machine. You just use double-sided, I used double-sided fabric tape, and it's quite strong, but I'm finding that the little corners of the zipper are kind of deteriorating a little bit, so I might have to just reinforce that again. These cute little printables are from Courtney Diaz Little Raven Ink. I think these were maybe this month. I don't remember, I don't recall, but it's probably this month. Yes, these little guys in the windows, they're definitely from this month's April's kit, and I'm just trying to find out which one I go for. I really like this little monster here. It's really, really cute. Just having a greeting from indoors. Yes, so as you can see, Japan finally declares a state of emergency. Things have been Slightly better than my last video. People are starting to listen a little bit. There was on the news a shot of Shibuya, which is usually extremely busy on the weekends, but it was not as bad. And they also shot a clip of Shinjuku Station, which is also very busy, but it was not as bad. So thankfully, people are starting to kind of understand the concept of social distancing and staying at home and realizing the importance of that. So I'm just gluing down these collage elements from Courtney Diaz and looking through my paper pack to see if there's anything else. I took one from Katrin. She did one of these beautiful art pieces again. Here I am, of course, outlining my heading. I like to do this because with watercolor, sometimes the letters turn into, if it's especially wet and I have a lot of water on my brush, it turns into a little bit of a mush and you can't really distinguish the letters, so I always like to kind of outline that when I can. And it's very soothing. It's a soothing thing for me to do, to outline these letters. I don't really follow in the lines. You can see I'm kind of outside of the line sometimes, but it's just for me, it's really a fun thing to do. I'm just going to tip this in, this art card from Katrin, and have that flip up in there so that I can do some journaling on the back of it. And I end up taking the clear stamps that I recently purchased from Studio Calico, and these are like really big numbers. I mentioned in my other video that I've been, or maybe I think the other video isn't up yet, but I have been on the hunt for the stencils that everybody's really I think they're easier to find in the United States, and I can't get them on Amazon or anything, and I've been waiting forever for the Amazon shop to have them in stock, or they're super extremely overpriced. But anyways, I ended up just getting these really big and bold numbers. These are clear stamps from Studio Calico, and I've been having a lot of fun with them lately. I am just flipping through some pages to see where else I can use the ink, because I don't know, you know how I am. I flip through pages here and there. I flip through journals and add wherever I can extra bits. Because there's ink left on this number 8, I am just adding it throughout the pages, seeing what else I could add. I think I am I'm stamping down the number of new cases. So on that day, I think was beginning of April, is it? April 6th, I think. There were 80 cases? I'm not sure. Sorry, I can't read the screen here while I edit, but what I'm doing with these numbers is I'm just indicating how many new cases there were, and I'm liking this. I know that the clear stamp is supposed to be a solid, like a solid color, but I'm kind of liking doing the first generation stamp on the kaishi, the washi paper, and then it kind of makes the ink faded in a way, like distressed in a way, and I'm really liking that look. So I end up doing that for another day. I think for the next day is 144 on the 7th, and I end up doing that, the same thing. I do the first generation stamping on that paper, and then I go on to the Hobonichi, and then I flip through my pages and see where else I can stamp, and it's just a continuation of that. I think I will answer one question before I finish this video. I have a couple minutes here. I received a comment from Robin, I think it was Robin, that asked about my language. Do I speak Japanese in Japan? I'm currently living in Tokyo, Japan, if you are not aware. I am originally from Canada. I was born and raised in Canada, so I am Canadian. I moved here several years ago and had my 2 kids in Japan. And when I speak to my kids, I speak to them in only English, and then my husband speaks to them in only Japanese, and my son is able to speak both, which I think is so cool. It is so neat. I'm going to go on a tangent here, but I was reading in the waiting room with my son, and we were reading Japanese books, and he thinks that I can't really understand Japanese. Well, I can't really understand Japanese, but he was reading to me in Japanese, and he was translating it to me in English, and I thought that was the sweetest thing. I can't believe it, like 5 years old. I mean, these are just really simple picture books, but he was telling me, oh, mommy, this fish is over here. And because I said, oh, what does that mean? I don't understand. I just think that is so neat that he could do that. Just the brain is such an interesting thing. I don't sit down and drill him with English activity books or anything like that. I mean, of course we do activity books, but it's not like a routine thing we do, like homework or anything. We just do it for fun and to learn. But it's just crazy how the brain absorbs so much at that age. My daughter, on the other hand, is a little bit different. She speaks both, but not nearly as much as my son did when he was 3 years old. She's slowly, her Japanese is a little bit better because of the daycare, of course. But yeah, her English, she understands what I say, and then she replies, but it's her own it's her own language. I'm not sure, but it's funny, and it is a bit concerning, but I just don't feel comfortable right now to see any specialists or go out to see doctors or anything. So we're waiting a little bit to see, because my son's speech was also delayed, and we went to see doctors and things, and they said it's because he's taking in 2 languages. And so I don't feel like pushing my daughter at all. I just want this, these are little kids, and I want them to have fun. So of course I will take her to see somebody if this continues. But yeah, it's just incredible how at such a young age they can absorb so much information. So yes, I do speak Japanese, but it's very, very simple Japanese. I cannot really read much. And gosh, I cannot write Japanese either. Even when I have to visit like a doctor or something and I need to write my address down somewhere, I know the address, but I get so nervous that my mind goes blank, and I end up taking my phone out and reading my address from my phone. Like I wish, I know I'm just making excuses. I have the time. I need to make the time to sit down and actually study the kanji, because as my kids get older, I'm going to need to be able to read all the different letters from the teachers and important school forms and things. So I know I need to kind of sit down and do that, but just I'm just so tired lately. It's been difficult. But yes, that's it. That is my journal with me, my Hobonichi cousin. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope my kids aren't too loud in the back. They're just having fun bath time with their daddy. So I hope that wasn't too distracting. But thank you always for sticking by and watching my videos. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.